Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Flubcast. This is a very, very special episode as we are 2 weeks away from Iran. We have two tournaments that the men are going to be competing in, and we are whittling down that squad. It roughly works out to 13/14 men that could finally be selected. I want to walk through some of the guys who are playing this weekend. There were 10 guys who were selected to play this weekend. I'm going to discuss some of their high points, some of the things that they might need to work on. I'm going to be highlighting some of the guys that have their foot in the door, some of the guys I think are probables but are fighting for that spot, and a final little bit of guys who are saying, look, we need to have a performance and we need to have it now. Okay, now unfortunately, one guy who's been in the training squad who is injured for this weekend is Jonathan Stewart. He's been having some good performances. He linked up with Harvard as well. He gives that little physicality as scrum half, who's been a nice little backup there for Dante. You saw what that physicality almost come like a flanker off the side of those scrums. It helps a lot. Unfortunately, Jonathan got injured. He was one of the guys who was really fighting for a spot. Him not being able to be there is a big loss for his chances, but congratulations for working so hard that you're being considered by the coaches. There are some guys that are absent from last year as well. James Phillip, who is unable to play, Shareem George, Aaron Stanley, Atiba Rodney, all these guys had fantastic performances leading up to Iran, participated in Iran. Excellent work. We hope to see you all in the future. You all are missed. Your efforts for TNT are acknowledged, and we thank you all. You all have special talents. Please keep working. Some of the younger guys I was hoping to be a part of the training squads, maybe not to make that final run, but just to keep working. I was looking at Edmond, maybe from Seapost, Jasani Daniels. For now, I think it's now pronounced slightly different. I can't remember it. Some of these superstars from Exiles as well. I would just like to see you all, if you have the chance to train with this elite group, it makes sense. It really sets you on that projection for the future. Just some other guys who've been working but weren't considered this week. Akon for Caribs, Rayside for Caribs. They have been putting in some good performances at training, and I just want to acknowledge them as well. So here are some guys who I think realistically have a foot in the door but are unavailable this weekend, which frees up chances for other guys to step up and see if they could slide into that 13-14 squad. Here they are: Nigel Ballington, Shaquille Dite, Kishon Walker, Marcus Arundel, Agbola Silverthorne, and Rory O'Farrell. Those are some superstar names from last year as well. I'm not sure if all of y'all are familiar about Marcus Arundel. Check it out on the Flubcast. I put a little video up of some of his highlights. He is big, he's physical, he's a presence, and he's going to be a part of the TNT squad. If he comes and performs, he'll be here from next week, so he'll be at Suki Sevens. If you want to come and take a look at that, I think you should. But Barlington, Dite, Walker, Silverthorne, O'Farrell, you see what they're doing. They are ready to go. There's 6 players right there that are pushing for spots that probably have their foot in the door. Let's be honest. Some guys playing for Exiles. Here is the team list, and I'm going to walk through them, and I'm going to discuss who I think also has their foot in the door. The 10 guys selected for this week are David Gokul, Jonathan Taylor, Shakir De Freitas, Anderson Joseph, Dante Hazard, Isaiah Smalls, Corey Edwards, back from injury, Keston Earl, Jeremy Bonas, and Leroy Wilson. So out of that group there, I think that some guys that have their foot in the door would be, of course, Jonathan Taylor. He's been exceptional for last year's run, and for this year just keeps on improving. Dante Hazard, as I said, what he brought to scrum half was outstanding. Isaiah Small with the physicality. Those are probably, I had Keston Earl as foot in door as well, but I'm going to move him to probable, and I'll discuss why. Of the probables, I have Shakir De Freitas, who's, a presence as well, that physicality. Anderson Island Joseph, Corey Edwards, and Keston Earl. And some of the guys who really need to have a performance this weekend are going to be Kokul, Bonus, and Leroy Wilson. And let's go through why. I'll start at the top and just work my way down there. Of course, all these guys, thank you all for all your sacrifices you all are making. Even if you aren't a part of the final squad, everything matters and you are appreciated. And the coaches, when you talk to them, they're calling your names, they're talking about you and saying, guys, these guys are pushing themselves. So thank you for what you're doing. Let's start with David Gokul. He's a solid option, similar to what Earl brings, just in terms of reliable and consistency. And you know what's good about Gokul as well is he's been in his shirt, so he's not going to get daunted by the occasion. He's not going to try to do something crazy to show how good he is, etc. He's going to play to his role. as we've seen, he's been doing well at the local tournaments as well. Not breakout stellar superstar, but just doing his role and pushing Harvard and getting him into all the finals, tournament after tournament. I don't need to spend long on Jonathan Taylor. Center, wing, scrum half, just options galore, and he's a game breaker. He's improved unbelievably defensively, and I just think he's one of those superstars from last year as well. He just can't be left out. Shakir De Freitas, unfortunately, is nursing a little bit of an injury. I'm not so sure how much game time he's going to get this week, but it's his strength, it's his control in tackle situations. He brings guys down, he's able to stay on his feet, but can he limit? A part of the defense force play and their pattern is they have so much athletes working off the ball that he uses a little flair. He has that Fijian ball in one hand. Can he control that to ensure that we don't have any 50-50 knock-ons and we maintain control and we don't say, look, I don't need to be a superstar in this team. I need to do my role. I need to play to our pattern. Can he do that? Everybody says he's doing it in training, so we're going to see this weekend if he could control it. Next up is Anderson Joseph. Why I have him as well, and why I'm such a big fan, is his ability to secure rocks, the ability to get over the ball legally and win possession in those turnovers when we need a play to do it. And we have the squad where when you win, they recognize and they go. The one area that I would say that Anderson has been struggling with all year, and he hasn't been penalized so much in the local tournaments, and I think that's a real disservice to him, is that he is getting offside defensively. When he gets to those wider channels, because he's so far away from the ruck, he's taking that half foot forward to almost look down the line, and he could see the ball. And it's a rule of thumb: if you are out wide and you could see the ball in a ruck, odds are you're a step offside. He's got to take that step. He's going to be called, he's going to be whistled, it could be a potential yellow card. He has to get it right in this tournament, and I hope the referees even go a little bit hard on him, because it's better for us to get penalized in these tournaments than it happens in the big dance. Okay, next up is Dante Hazard. I spoke about him as well, about his physicality. Flanker coming off his scrum almost, he just puts players down, and that's a big part of defense for us. And I'm just saying, we have a few guys in the squad and in these local tournaments, when there's a guy who you're marking who's in the process of passing the ball and you have a chance to get a clean hit, so you're getting that guy out of the play, and then you work harder than him to get back up, and you work to get back onside defensively while he's taking his time, he's got a little lashy, kind of looking around, what the hell, you are paying with that extra person, you've taken a man out. And that's something that Dante really excels at. When he has a chance to put a hit on somebody, a legal hit, he doesn't do a cheap shot, but he makes you feel it, and he gets back defensively. He doesn't make the hit and he stays down. He gets back defensively. That is the second part of it. It's not just about the hit. It's about, do you work back as well? So it's not 6-on-6. It's 6 players offensively against 7 players defensively. That's what's the big difference. And a man who does that religiously is the next guy who surely has his foot in the door, Isaiah Small. Game-breaking speed, so physical in contact. This is another one similar to Andy though, Anderson Joseph, where I was talking about him being offside. Isaiah is struggling and he's not being penalized in these tournaments where a tackle is made and he's getting over the ball to poach it, but he's putting his hands on the ground first. Even one palm down, it is as if you are lying on the ground. You are not supporting your body weight, and it is a penalty. They are not going to give you that in this tournament here. So we have to start penalizing that. We have to be hard. We have to be aware. We have to go over it in training 50 or 40 times. If you get over and your hands on the ground, leave it, get out of the way. Because if you do play it from that position there, you will be penalized. You will be carded, because it is a cynical infringement, okay? Our next player up here is Corey Edwards. I've been pushing for him to be a party program. He's been really turning heads. And what I like about Corey, and he does it for Royalians as well, besides everybody who looks at him as a centre option, he's also been covering at fly half a lot. And he brings that physicality. He brings that extra speed. He breaks the line a lot. He forces things. And he just sometimes he plays his role very well. The only thing is, so it's a good option to have if Rory, God forbid, gets injured. Only thing is that our pattern of play at the national level, we don't like to kick away possession too much. And Royalians are comfortable doing that in certain situations. They trust their defense and they'll trust their kick chase and they just pump it downfield. So similarly, like how Shakir has to not play to the style of defense force, can Corey keep his composure, not try to be the center of it, just play your role, be comfortable to say, look, if I'm in distribution, if I'm here for defense in fly half, if I'm here for when it's on to attack the line around my corridor, can I do that? And when other players just want the ball, that I don't need to be in control of it, they want the ball, I could catch, I could take that one step forward to set defense and pass it out. Next player up is Keston Earl, another guy, as I was saying, he's a probable as well. Why did I drop him from foot in the door to probable? Because he's super reliable, but it's just a natural thing. I am noticing defensively what I also always loved about Earl is he puts in that big hit and then he would get back up. So the same thing about 7 defenders against 6 offense. He is taking a little bit longer in these tournaments. It's just a part of it. I mean, he has played so many tournaments and stuff, but you're seeing, just like I said with Adam Fredericks, he's taking that extra few seconds to get back defensively after a big hit, and he's losing that half second. And that half second is what made him such a brilliant player. So I'm going to be watching this week particularly for that. Is he going to continue to work in defense? But when he gets that jam and he gets that man down, is he working back to put himself on, or is he just making it now a 6v6? Next player up there is Jeremy Bonas. And I would just say this, is everybody I'm talking to when it comes to the coaches is just talking about how much they love working with him, how much they love his energy, how much they love what his just so many things they like about Jeremy Bonas, that he keeps on getting his name mentioned in everything I'm reading and every conversation I'm having. And why I'm critical sometimes is not because I don't think Bonas has a lot of talent, but unfortunately, the reality is when it comes to performing in the local games, he's not particularly standing out. He's lacking that consistency. And it is the opposite of so many guys here, that whenever he is in a tackle situation, he does not have control of his body. And he's often ragdolled down, or a ball would get knocked on, or he's tackled in a position that we can't get the ball and secure the rock. And that is a gift that a lot of these guys in our team have worked on and have gotten extremely good at, and Bonas has to get that down. He has to not force that extra half foot to give up his body positioning. And when he's being tackled, it always feels like the tackler is dictating where the tackle is happening, where he's going to land, how he's going to be able to put it back, etc, etc, etc. So that is something that we're all staring at Jeremy. Do I want Jeremy to succeed? Of course. No, it's not. I'm not out here to rip Bonas. Bonas has excelled in so many things. He's a great guy and stuff, but we cannot pretend that in local tournaments he's dominating. He's not, and he needs to perform this weekend. This is a big one for Jeremy Bonas. And similarly, actually, I'll just say Leroy Wilson. So another guy with tons of talent, tons of pace. Everybody loves him. He's a great team guy, but he lacks a lot of ruthlessness. So when you say Isaiah making a cover tackle, I put up a video the other week, and you see he's chasing a guy. I can't remember who it was actually. And he tried to tackle and he tried to dislodge the ball where he is throwing 100% of his weight, and he's throwing his arm to try to upset and force a knock on, etc. That is how Isaiah plays. He's not trying to leave and everybody thinks we're friends and stuff like that. He is going to play the game as hard as possible, and after the game shake your hand and he has your respect. He's not trying to be your friend. He's trying that you leave respecting him as a player, and that is something that Leroy has to step in. So many times where he's marking somebody defensively and the person his passes it off, he leaves them live. He doesn't put in that hit and gets them down. He's comfortable keeping them alive and working. He's got to get people down. He's got to work, and he has the speed and the cover work as well to do it. So you expect him to get those guys involved and get that contact. And when he makes the tackle, even if the guy, he's in the process of it, the ball just leaves the hand, hit the person, get them down. I'm not saying cheap shot. Do not give away a card, a stupid card. Use your brain. But if a guy is looking to his side to look the pass, you have a clear view of him, you could light him up and get back on your feet. Step A, step B. So that is what's happening this week. So particularly in terms of the guys that need to step up majorly, I mean, are fighting to get their name on the team list next week, because look at the talent that's coming back with Barrington and Dyke and Walker and Arundel and Silverton and O'Farrell. It is this weekend. Exiles is when you have to perform. All eyes especially on Go Cool, Bonas, Wilson. If the Freitas, he's injured, so this might actually open up the door for some other guys to get a chance. I know Andy is going to try to put in a performance there to make him a starter. Corey Ed